Hey, hey, hey! You are with Burky and Josiah from Game Toppers. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Josiah.
Welcome, Burky.
It's too funny, right? I tell you, it is an amazing thing running a Kickstarter campaign. I got to tell you, it's one of those things. If you've never done it, I would highly not recommend it. And no. No, it's an amazing it's an amazing thing to do a Kickstarter because it's there's incredible excitement, and then there's up and down and this flow of how a campaign actually goes. But one of the overriding things that I think is so awesome about crowdfunding is the amount of interaction that we get with our customers and with our backers. I absolutely just get thrilled about interacting back and forth with our customers. Generally, it's always really positive. And even when there's something that maybe isn't quite as positive, we're able to, interact with that person and handle any concerns. And then it generally turns into a positive. And so it's like just so exciting to meet all of you, to correspond with you via email, correspond with you via the contact manager, the Kickstarter messages. I oftentimes will respond to over 100 correspondences in a given day. The first day, it was almost like 500. Good grief. So that's what I mean. It's exhausting, but it's incredibly exhilarating. It's exciting. And we were so glad that this worked out for this period of time where we could offer some of our new products. The leg kits for our largest, most fantastic toppers are the Mycroft, 4 foot by 6 foot, and you can even make it a 4 foot by 8 foot with an XL leaf, and that allows you to really play any of these massive games like Warhammer and Star Trek Ascendancies, Star Wars Armada, a lot of these really big games. But we also have the leg kits for a lot of our other size toppers. Personally, I play on the Watson topper, which is a 38 inch by 60 inch, and that can be added to also with another 24 inches. And that's just great for most board games for me. And then a lot of people really love the Sherlock Holmes model because that's 3 foot by 6 foot. And likewise, we've got the extension leaves. You've got the accessory rails where you can convert half of your topper into a mini topper. Man, people love that. I'm going to just kind of share a couple things about game toppers while we wait for some of the folks to jump into the chat. I'm sure we're going to have people jump in that may have questions, or the campaign might be new to them. But then we're going to talk a little bit about the pledge manager with Josiah. Josiah is the backer kit guru. He's going to run this pledge manager, and he's also handles the shipping logistics. He has done a fabulous job. He's incredibly thoughtful to take care of every customer's concern. And we always encourage you, if you have any concerns or any thoughts or having any troubles, you just contact us at support@gametoppersllc.com, and we'll do exactly that. We'll support you. We'll figure out what we need to do to take care of anything. But I think what's really exciting about Game Topper Nation, we started in 2017. And it was just a little dream, man. It was just like, I've got a dedicated table that I designed, my dad built. We were just loving playing on it. And I thought, how do I make this portable so I can take it to my daughter's house and we can play games together and take it to a convention or take it out camping, all that kind of thing. And it just started with a little idea, and I made 5 prototypes eventually. I'm a woodworker and made these type of things. And all of a sudden the idea started to take shape. And I thought, gosh, if we could make this affordable, if we could make this high quality so it's durable, I want this stuff to last. And people say this to me all the time about our game toppers. They go, "Oh, Burky, these toppers are way better in person than what they look like online. The pictures and the videos just don't do it justice." And that's really true. They're substantial. You're going to feel like you're playing on a very high end table. You're going to have a lot of functionality. And that's what happened in 2017. It was like, how do we make this happen? How do we manufacture it? How do we make it cost effective? And that was the dream of Game Toppers. And thankfully, because of you, Game Topper Nation, man, we've got like, I think there's around 4,000 Game Toppers out there in the wild. We've got thousands and thousands of gaming mats that are out there and accessories. And a lot of people now have heard about Game Toppers, and that's all thanks to your support. Crowdfunding has helped make that happen for us so that we could facilitate buying these high quality components to assemble stuff and really make it a lifelong product for you. I see we already have a couple people in the chat, so we're going to kind of jump back and forth and answer questions as we go along. But I see Brian is in the chat here.
Yeah, Brian says, I have an odd question. Did the dining covers sit high enough to use the acrylic covers under them? By the way, I just received an accessory bank and it's awesome.
Ah, cool. Thanks so much. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think you're probably referring to the acrylic covers we had in our 2.0 campaign several years ago, where they would fit inside the topper vault. And I believe they are, since they're just about level with the vault of the topper, the dining cover should go over them just fine.
Yep, that should be, because that's pretty close to flush. And there's probably might be just a slight amount of give. One thing we've done on the dining covers, there's a thin rubberized type of foam like we use on the bottom of our Game Toppers so that they sit on the rails nicely and they don't shift. And that provides just a slight amount of height also. So any tolerance difference there should be good.
Yeah. Stefan says, hey guys, thanks for your efforts. Hope to get my topper here soon, delivered here in Germany.
Woohoo! Excited about getting all the stuff overseas. It's we had hoped to deliver that, this April, but because of the dining cover situation with them being delayed, we've had to hold all those orders so we could combine them to keep those shipping costs in line, of course. And we've got good news. I actually just watched videos of our dining covers being packaged, and then we had them do special drop testing where they picked up these packages, and these are heavy packages, 34 kilometers or kilograms, I mean, kilometers. I don't know even what that equates to pounds, but that's probably what, 50 pounds?
Yeah, 60
pounds. And they picked them up 4 feet, dropped them on all different sides, dropped them on the ends, dropped them flat, dropped them on the corners, like 6 different drops, and then opened them all up, and just everything beautiful. The packaging could handle a lot of cushioning and expense that we've went to do that. And so anyway, those dining covers are coming, and that's pretty exciting. And then we will be, soon as they come in, it's really a matter of us just packaging up all the overseas orders from this Kickstarter. And this will happen pretty quick. I mean, really within a couple weeks of those dining covers arriving here, we'll have everything packed up and it'll be on that container, and then it'll go on the water to Germany. Our fulfillment partner is in Leipzig, and wonderful people at Fulfillment Europe did a fantastic job for us last time. We didn't have any issues. It was just fantastic. We expect the same this time. And so hopefully, somewhere around the end of August, early September, it should actually be at your door. So that's all really great. We're excited to get that to everybody there. Likewise, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, all of those orders. There's a couple of them that are going over to Singapore or whatever, Indonesia too, I think, or whatever. Anyway, all that's going to happen. And then immediately after that, we're going to be moving right into the United States and Canada fulfillment. And likewise, we can process about 100 package orders in a given week. We can usually do about 20 a day. That means that fulfillment cycle for the USA and Canada really will only take us probably 2 or 3 weeks. And, hopefully by the end of August, everything will actually be shipped out. We'll see how timing goes. We can't always control that, as many of you know that there's just a lot of variables, but everything seems good for that, and we have the product available. So I think we're going to be able to fulfill on that really well for everybody. And that was kind of the whole impetus of this campaign. When we go to market next, I'm going to have to reacquire all the aluminum. I'm going to have to reacquire all the materials. And as many of you know, things have not gotten cheaper. In fact, they are getting, it seems like there's more constraint actually lately. We're having a lot of challenges. The shipping costs have also went through the roof. Wood prices have gone up. Packaging prices have continued to go up. And it's like every time the rep calls me, he says, yeah, we've got another 12% increase coming. And it's very frustrating. It is what it is. We're willing to sacrifice some margin when we need to, because I want our product to be affordable, but I also know that it's just what it is. And prices are going to need to move upward. And this Kickstarter is all that product that we've already purchased. So you're in a place where you're going to take advantage of all these specials on this campaign. They're fantastic. I mean, these package deals, we really went all out on this. And Josiah says, "Are you sure about that?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it. You know, what about shipping? Our shipping costs, we're not charging enough for shipping." Yep, I know. Let's blow this thing out. You know, let's reward our backers and get some new backers in, especially overseas and everything. So we have another quote there.
Yeah, Stefan just says, "Will we see you in Essen this year? Will you bring mats with you?"
It's a great question. Essen is really up in the air right now. Traveling overseas is tricky. I'm traveling over to the UK Games Expo. I'm leaving on May 31st, and I'm going to be there till June 9th. And super excited about that. But to come home, we have to take a negative test. Hopefully that's fine. I have had COVID, so hopefully it doesn't test me positive or anything. But currently I've had a test and it's negative, so I don't anticipate any issues. But going to different countries, especially in the wintertime, those rules change a lot. And I'm really up in the air about it. I want to be there, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to be there. So we'll address that probably in the next couple months.
Rick says, "No question. Just wanted to say congratulations on another great job, guys."
Thank you so much, Rick. Rick has been a good friend of Game Toppers and backer, and loves our product and has always been so enthusiastic to listen to our stuff, and good friend. Thank you, Rick. So one of the things that we want to talk about regarding, and we'll keep answering your questions, so please feel free to jump in. Right now we're at, I think we were at 277 when we started this podcast. Yeah, almost 278. So we're only $22,000 away from reaching a 300,000 goal. That'd be fantastic, actually. One of the things we've just unlocked this morning was the dice accessory bank. And that thing is cool. And I got to tell you, this thing is so fun. It's 14 inches. I mean, it's great. Behind me, you can see over this way, you can see all of the components from the Stonemeyer chest glove. They're all there with those tokens. You can put cards in here, all kinds of, that has a really nice swoop. Well, these here are normally $24. You can buy them individually for $19 on our Kickstarter special pricing. But every package, that means the elementary package, the Scotland Yard, the Baker Street, the Reichenbach Falls package, you're going to get the dice accessory bank free, and it's shipping in the same package at no additional cost. It's really, really a cool thing that we offered. I hope you like them. They're stout enough to be able to fill up with components and hand around your table. A lot of people are getting two of them, so they have one on both sides of the table for all your general components. And of course, it's shaped like our little Game Topper logo, which is kind of fun and creative. We're going to work on making some Lazy Susans for the back side of this on our next campaign a year from now, and that these will be compatible and those will attach. So that'll be kind of fun. And at 300,000, now we're about 22,000 away. So we've only got about 6 hours. In fact, the campaign closes today at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So you have, basically these next 4.5 hours or whatever left in the campaign. So to do 22,000, we're going to have to really go crazy. It could happen. I've seen it happen before where we've had huge last minute runs because there's a lot of people watching the campaign. But if we hit the $300,000 mark, you're going to be able to get this amazing Game Topper game bag. This bag normally is $59. We unlocked a stretch goal where you can get it for $39. That's still unlocked. But look at how substantial this thing is. Really cool Velcro handle. It has a Velcro front flap that opens like this, and then it zippers on the sides. Of course, this has been folded, but this is some really heavy-duty padding that is in here. And what's really great about this is your games. I'm probably not showing this great. Sorry for the bad camera work, but you can see we've also got a shoulder strap that comes with it as well. Your games fit in like this, and then you lock it up. There's a zippered pouch on the side that you can put components or small games in. Also, on the other side, there's a double elastic pouches here that you can put water bottles in or small games. And this you're going to be able to get with a package for $25 at $300,000. So it's really at about our cost. We're making very little on it at the $25, but it's an awesome game bag. It's also really great for people that want to store their cup holders and dice towers and all of those type of things. I probably was hitting the mic there with everything. I'm so sorry. Anyway, if we hit 300 grand, we're going to offer that for $25. If we don't, not a big deal. We're still going to give you the discounted price of $39 on that. But we just wanted to do something really special that we were willing to just sacrifice a little bit if we hit a big number. So we have another comment from Brian.
Yep. Brian says, thank you for providing an excellent product and exceptional customer service. I have never dealt with any company as accommodating as you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. A lot of that I'll give the credit to Josiah. Actually facilitates so much of the service. Of course, I'm active in that process and provide direction, and a lot of times I'm interacting with a lot of you, but we care very deeply about our customers. This isn't just about making a sale. This isn't about just getting money from people. This is about a relationship. This is about upgrading your gaming experience. And part of that is us providing you with a high quality product, making sure that it's built right. And then secondly, that it gets to you right. And then if you have any troubles or you have any questions, that we're responsive. And I work all the time. You guys know it. I answer questions all the time. And I'm usually respond to you. Even on the weekends, I respond to customers. I feel like I'm wearing out, but it's especially when you do a Kickstarter campaign, you answer a lot of questions, but that's the commitment we have to take care of you. And so we want you all to be fully confident in that, and don't ever fear or worry about us not doing that. If there's a problem, just let us know so that we can do whatever we can, and we'll be responsive to that. Excuse me. So let's talk about the Pledge Manager. There's tons of packages. There's tons of product, tons of bundles, tons of stretch goals. I mean, it's complex. By any stretch of the imagination, we use BackerKit, and we do so because the software is robust enough for us to do what we do. Even then, it doesn't have full capability of doing everything we'd like. Josiah is able to modify and work out things, but then why we offer things the way we do. And it has to do with how we can fulfill the product well for you and how we can get the best combined package shipping solutions for you also. So that's one thing that a lot of thought and a lot of energy goes into. And so when people want us to go outside of that, I've gotten to the place now where I realize that there's some things we can accommodate, and sometimes it's just not best to do it. And for those factors, because we want to make sure everything gets to you safely and all of that, and that we don't make any mistakes because we forgot a manual process when we're in the middle of all this. So that's why our Backer Kit software is really great. So items that you can get, accessory rails where you can convert your half of your topper into a mini topper. This is such a great feature. People love this. A lot of times they will buy 2 of these. Well, now you don't have to buy just the rail. You know, when you buy the rail for like half of the Watson, for instance, is the Hudson. You're going to want that Hudson mat also. And then it's really nice to have that padded storage bag for your rail and a storage bag for the mat when you're not using it. So we've unlocked that rail bundle, which gives you the rail. You can get it in standard aluminum. You can get it in luxuriant oak, or you can get premium walnut now because we unlocked that at $250,000. And you get the smaller mat and you get the storage bags. Huge savings on that bundle. A lot of times people buy 2 of them, and that's something that you can take advantage of. But Josiah, let's say that somebody wants to get like this rail bundle. Let's say they want to get the 24-inch extension leaf with and the storage bags, kind of the same thing, so that they can have a lot of variety in their topper sizes and functionality. How do they go about that?
How do they go about getting the rail bundle?
Yeah, it's because like we have a lot of questions where people are saying, well, I don't see a pledge level for the rail bundle. I don't see a pledge level for the XL leaf. So how do I pledge for it, and how do I get it? And do I put money in now? Do I put money in later? How does this all work?
Yeah. So during the Kickstarter campaign, we have a variety of different pledge levels. And a lot of those are for toppers or package bundles, which when you pledge for that level, all those items in that pledge level are going to be added into your order in the pledge survey, and then you can pick more things that you want. We have a couple of pledge levels, the a la carte pledge level for $25, and also the $1 pledge level. Both of them, you'll be able to do this, where if you pledge for those levels, they don't have any items associated with them. So any money that you pledge actually goes into the system as a credit. And you're then able to, when you get your pledge survey, which will happen currently planned for June 2nd, so just about a week here after the campaign ends, you'll be able to get your pledge survey, and any of those funds that were not for items, so that's the $25, or you can add to your pledge and add more so that we can get some of those stretch goals.
So how do they add to their pledge? So say they get the a la carte level, yep, and they want to add, they know they're going to get a rail bundle that's $230. What do they do?
Yeah. So when you're pledging, you'll click on the a la carte pledge level, and it'll bring you to the page where you are confirming your pledge. And there's a box to add additional funds. And so you can type in any amount that you want to add extra to your pledge level, and then those funds. And in fact, that box exists for all pledge levels, no matter what it is. So even if you're getting a big topper package, you can still add extra if you want to get more things. And those extra funds get added as a credit in the pledge manager. So when you're going through and selecting all these various add-ons, it'll be just like a typical web store. You'll be on our pre-order store, they call it. It's the same place that all the people who are filling out their surveys go to as well after you answer some questions. Excuse me. You are then given the option to add on all these extra items. And so it'll be a web page. You can scroll through, pick whatever you want. A lot of items have drop-down menus. So for example, if you're getting a rail, and you want to get the standard or the oak, you'll just select which one you want in the drop down menu, and then you can add that item to your cart, and any funds that you had pledged that were over your pledge level will be a credit that will just subtract from the total once you get to the checkout process. And yeah, it's fairly simple and very similar to a online e-commerce purchase. So
one of the things that's really nice about the way Josiah has designed the site, we have nice graphics for each product, and they're in different categories. So we have a category for packages, we have a category for accessories, a category for storage bags, different things like that, for instance. And all of the bundles, if a lot of people, when they there's a lot of information to consume on our Kickstarter campaign, of course. So they're looking through the stretch goals and they're like, oh, well, how do I, okay, it looks like that one's free, but this one you have to pay for. And so there's like, they're trying to figure out, okay, do I have to pay for it, or is it included? Well, what we did on this campaign is we made some package stretch goals that were items that are included free in your package, and those are automatically going to happen for you in the Pledge Manager. So say you ordered the Scotland Yard package, for instance. Well, all of those accessories like the little coasters and the mouse pad, the player shields, and this little dice accessory tray, those are all going to come automatically in the Pledge Manager. So you don't have to buy those separately. Likewise, we unlock that free premium game mat for each of the packages, where you're getting a free mat in your Z. That was a great deal. I mean, most of the time that's $100 to $140 value. That is included free. You're going to get a set of questions that say, what do you want for your first mat? What do you want for your second mat? So it's really simple. Josiah's designed it in a way that you're able to go through and make those selections easily. Likewise, let's say somebody bought a package. Say that they're all in for the Scotland Yard bundle, and then they pledge for that amount. How is the shipping handled, and how is that handled overseas also, and what things happen there? And then what about anything else that they want, and how do they calculate shipping, if they buy an extra bundle of something like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, when you add the items, it will add the correct shipping to the total based on your location. So there's shipping charts in the system that, each item has the various shipping costs. And it also calculates for combining some of those items. So if there are items that we are realizing, hey, we could ship these in the same box, we can actually, in those shipping charts, set them into the same category. So if you get, so many of them, they all ship for the same price until it starts adding additional shipping. So generally, in the case where if that shipping total is going up, it's because you've added an item that's going to cause a separate package to be shipped. And that's whenever we ship a new package, generally we have to charge more for it. Or if it's just a heavy item, it's adding more weight, where that's going to increase the shipping cost. We can't account for everything because we have so many items and there's so many different possible combinations. There might be a few things here or there that, it adds extra shipping, but maybe we could combine it because you also bought these 3 other things, and the system isn't quite smart enough to know all the exact possible combinations. So if you ever have any questions and are concerned, you can just send us an email, support@gametoppersllc.com. I can go through, double check, verify everything is correct. The way the Pledge Manager works is anything you add on, so those shipping costs and the VAT are all handled in the Pledge Manager, as well as any extra items above your pledge that you add. Those charges will not be processed until near the end of June, when we will actually be locking down the pledge surveys and then processing charges. So they don't happen immediately. A lot of people kind of think that, because I put my credit card information in and I, clicked through finish, that my card is being charged. And that's not actually the case. We have to charge it manually. So when that happens. So there's a little bit of time for review, basically.
Yeah, one of the things I want to let Josiah finish there too, when the late pledge manager first launches on the 2nd of June, it's very important that everybody that is pledged during the campaign, that you jump in there and fill out your surveys. That doesn't mean that you can't add additional things later while the pledge manager is open, but it's very important for us to make sure that we're contacting every customer, because I'm getting back about the 9th. I'm actually scheduled to go camping with my family for a couple days in the middle of June, the 12th through the 16th. But right after that, we're probably going to take a look at where the survey is at and how many people have completed it. And we will be sending out a message at that point to say, please complete all your surveys, because at that point, we want to start locking it down. People will still be able to late pledge until we're ready to ship the orders overseas. But once those dining covers arrive, which we're expecting here, the middle to end of July-ish, when that happens, we're going to have to shut that pledge manager software down. So it's a limited amount of time that you're going to be able to get in on this. And so it's really important that you fill those out. And likewise, after that pledge manager closes, you'll still be able to get a hold of us and still be able to get our products, but that's going to go through our Shopify online shop at that point. And many of those prices, especially all those package deals that are the way they are now with all those unlocked stretch goals, those are all going to change, and the prices are going to be a little bit higher. You can still get Game Topper products, so don't worry about that. It's not like it's going to be outlandish, but it's definitely the prices on this campaign are fantastic. So please fill out that pledge manager right away.
Yeah.
How about I've had several questions from people overseas in Europe, like, well, do I have to pay? I have to pay shipping, and then do I have to pay a duty charge, and then do I have to pay the VAT? Do I have to pay it personally after the fact when I receive the product? I've had a lot of those kind of questions from people that are overseas. How would they handle that?
Yeah, great question. So there are, for the majority of cases for overseas, so this is Australia, the EU, the UK, the VAT is all charged in the pledge manager. So we collect that, and then we end up paying that to the correct tax authorities on your behalf. So you won't have any extra charges after the fact. When your shipment arrives at your door, they shouldn't be trying to collect tax or anything like that. So we're able to handle that all for you. The couple of exceptions are, there are a couple countries we do ship to in Europe that are not part of the EU and don't have their own VAT. I believe it's Norway and Switzerland are the main two, where you won't be charged taxes in the pledge manager because they will charge you on delivery. And it's a pretty rare case. We've only had a couple situations where that applies, so don't really need to worry about that for most people, but there's just those couple exceptions. And
what's really nice is the pledge manager, we put in all of those factors of the shipping rate. And thing that you need to understand about from our standpoint, how we're able to do this. I mean, it's a significant, very complex situation. We had to get licensed in the EU with our VAT numbers so that we could actually do all this. It cost us close to $4,000 just to get set up to be able to record all the taxes. Well, that's a big chunk of money for the volume that we're doing in Europe right now. The shipping of the product, we have not changed the shipping charges for anybody on this, but those container costs from when our last campaign, they've gone up. And so our cost per unit has actually gone up also. But if we were to ship a package right now, like our Watson Scotland Yard package, if we were to send that thing, it's up about 110 pounds with all that stuff in there. That would cost close to $800 to get to Europe, plus the VAT that's on the shipping of that $800, plus the VAT on the actual product cost. So by us being able to do it the way we're able to do it, by bulk shipping on a container getting it to our fulfillment partner, allow them who are experts and have really great negotiated rates for their shipping. We're able to get that to you at a really reasonable price. I know it's expensive. You know, it still costs $250, $300, but compared to $1,000. And one thing I'd like to point out too is our product has a ton of versatility. It has portability. It fits nice, smaller spaces. It's easy to transport, all of those things. But you don't sacrifice anything from a high-end dedicated table. But to ship a high-end dedicated table within the EU and the UK, those are expensive to ship too. It's the same situation. And we're actually able to be in line with all of that. So I know it's a consideration, but we've worked really hard to figure out how can we do this so that it's not a barrier to entry, you know, so that you guys can't get it. We want it to be affordable. So we've really worked hard to do that and take the pressure out of it. So the software will calculate that all for you.
Yep.
I see Raymond is here from Board Game Heaven. Raymond's a great friend of the show and of Game Toppers, and has helped us so much answering questions. He's been a crazy, awesome, enthusiastic backer. I mean, he bought our toppers, and he made custom shelving for his base, and he's made videos, and he helped us a couple of years ago at Essen. We got to know him, and I am just so grateful for Raymond's friendship. Thank you, Raymond. I see there was another question here too about the XL leaf testing.
Yep. Stefan says, have you ever tested the combination of a Watson with XL leaf and leg kit plus a folding table underneath?
Yeah, that's a great question. The thing about we have done that. We've done a lot of testing with all of the leaves and different leg solutions, how the cross supports work, all of that. It's very stout. It's very, very good weight bearing. It's got a really good stability. It's way more stable than just a plastic folding table. Let's put it that way. I always tell people, listen, this isn't a 500, 800 pound solid oak table that has tons of gravity that, I have a oak trestle table in my dining room actually, and we had a Mycroft on top of that. And when we put our arms on it, it moves a little bit. And it's a heavy duty, expensive table. It's a beautiful table, but every table has a little bit of movement. Well, the leg kits, they have a slight amount of movement, but it's nothing that would impair anything. And it's very durable. We wouldn't sell it if it wasn't. We've went to a lot of effort to test and prototype and provide high quality steel brackets, and the thickness that I went with, everything it's very good quality. I think you'll be happy with that. But I think what he's referring to, let's say that you just wanted to put your topper on a plastic folding table, but the ends are hanging off more than the recommended 7 to 9 inches that we recommend. Like maybe one of the end cross supports wouldn't be fully supported, and if someone put all their weight on there, they wouldn't want it to move. Could you use our leg kits? Well, the answer is yes, depending on the height of the under table. The legs are 29-inch legs, but when they fit underneath the bracket there, it goes up a little bit underneath the table. We have a leveler on each leg you can level out to 1 inch. It's really recommended at about 3/4 of an inch. So as long as that table is not over 29 inches, that leg kit will work with that leveler. If you get a table that's higher than that, you might be off a little bit, and then you'd have to shim up that leg just slightly. But the bracket would work to provide extra stability on the ends. And we've actually recommended that to a few people for the Mycrofts. They've got an under table they just wanted some extra end support. Yeah, even you could put one corner bracket and one leg on each corner right in the middle just to provide stability. That's an easy solution for a lot of folks. I want to talk about that for a second too. Lots of questions about this. What if I've got an XL, but I want to have 4 legs instead of 3 legs? Or I just want to have a couple extra corner brackets because I'm making it in the half topper quite a bit, and I want to just keep those attached so I don't have to constantly switch them out. How do I do that, or can I do that? So what's the answer to that?
Reach out to us is the simple answer. We don't have an item for just, individual parts of the leg kits, because that becomes a bit of a hassle to try and manage. But if there's a couple cases where you're
in the pledge manager, go ahead. It's hard to in the pledge manager for us to create small part segments outside of our leg kits. But down the road, it'll be easy for us to put a corner bracket or a leg and corner bracket in our Shopify store under the accessories tab. But
sure.
I say Board Game Heaven says, glad to help. Oh, you go ahead and read it. I can't read it well.
Raymond says, glad to help. Your toppers are amazing, and I love your mats. Can't wait to see the next ones you have for us.
Thank you. Thank you. We do have a lot of plans for Kickstarter 4.0, and we're really excited. We knew that this campaign was going to be a very short campaign and kind of focused, if you will. There wasn't a lot of new items other than the leg kits for the Moriarty and the Mycroft, which allowed our overseas backers to add those things. Plus, if they wanted to add anything else, because it's going to be a good year and a half before we have another big shipment probably that goes over to Europe. So this was a great opportunity, but it also gave our existing backers an opportunity to get in on some great prices. But a lot of folks are waiting for what's next, and we've got a bunch of new mats. We've got new accessory ideas. We've got another huge item that I think people are going to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over.
Stefan says, thanks for your answers. Would like to watch your show up to the end, but I have to bring my kids to bed. And the video will still be on the Kickstarter page, and on our YouTube, you'll be able to go back and watch it after the fact as well. You can just pick up where you left off. Tabletop Arcanum says, happy to join this campaign. The leg kit was the winning piece for us to upgrade from our DIY table.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what we're always trying to get better. We're always trying to do more, continuing to make the products that we have in the future backward compatible. We did have quite a few customers that had some concerns about our Generation 1 rails when we made these way back in 2017. Well, of course, we didn't know we were going to make legs for tables and have full tables. Once that request started to become very common, we started looking into it. We spent a ton of money prototyping, took a lot of time, almost a year, working with the engineers, getting product, evaluating it. All three of those prototypes that we worked on, all of them were not up to my satisfaction. They were either wobbly, they weren't cost effective, they looked bad, they were functional to a point, but they were just too expensive too. It's like, I thought, why would you do that? So the only thing that we finally came to is we had to re-engineer the rail so that we could handle the screw channel that allows us to mechanically attach these heavy-duty steel brackets and provide the stability that was needed. And that was a very expensive decision. We had to remake all of our molds, and that was $15,000 just in mold costs. So it's sometimes just the cost of innovation. It was never an attempt to not do it or try to get people to buy a new topper or anything like that. So, part of me, it's like, I'm sorry that that's the way it is. On the other hand, we needed to move forward, and that only affected a very small group. Our first Kickstarter, we were just getting out there. There was about 600 units or so that this affected. Since then, since 2018, Game Toppers 2.0 and beyond, everything is compatible. And so I know a lot of people are getting two toppers, one for the new leg kit solution, and then they use their other one as a portable solution. Sometimes they sell it or that type of thing. And so anyway, we are continuing to innovate, but everything we're doing, we're trying to keep in mind to keep our product backward compatible.
Yep. Sven asks, will you have a booth at the Spiel 2020 in Essen?
Yeah, we talked about that just a little bit ago. I'm not sure if I'll be at Essen or not. It's possible, but not guaranteed at this point. We'll probably make that decision this summer. And then I see more comfortable.
No, he said to ignore it.
Oh, so the Pledge Manager is going to launch shortly. We think that one thing that's important to know, I've had quite a few questions are like, hey, I don't have enough money to pledge for the package right now. But I want to be able, I can probably do it next month after they get paid, things of that nature. Can I just pledge for the dollar level or the $25 level? And then will everything stay the same, or is it going to go up in price in the Pledge Manager? How does that all work?
So the prices on the Pledge Manager will be the same as the Kickstarter. And yeah, you're able to late pledge until we close it down. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. I saw another question come in, so I was thinking about that as you're trying to ask me a question. But this is kind of in the same vein. Board Game Addict asks, not sure if I missed this, but are you selling just the XL leg kit add-on if I were to order an XL Leaf? And yes. So all of the items on the Kickstarter will be available as separate add-on items. So you're able to pick and choose which ones you want, no matter of what pledge level you're in. They're available. So the only exception is the dining cover. The only way to get those is through the dining cover pledge level on the campaign. Those won't be available separately.
And go ahead and explain that real quick, a little bit more about that pledge level. I'm not sure, but I think the Watson level might have sold. I'll look.
Yeah, so with our production, since we Kickstarter, you're not really able to, unless you limit a pledge level, you don't really have a way to limit the number of an item. And we have a very small overstock of the Watson and Holmes dining covers that we are going to be receiving in the July-August timeframe. And while we will be getting more later in the year, we wanted to make sure that for this first shipment, we didn't have anyone who was going to be left out and we didn't have enough. So we had to limit that to make sure we were only selling what we currently are going to be getting. And that we also have, a few extras for damages, things like that, if we need, spare parts. So that is why we had to limit those to the pledge levels where there's 50 of each available. So if you want one, you have to get it through that pledge level. And then you can still add on extra items, even a whole topper package if you wanted through the Pledge Manager. So you're still, everything else is available to you.
And it'll be really simple. You pledge, there's only one Watson left and there's only about 16 Holmes left. What you're able to do, those Holmes toppers, dining covers also cover the Adler and Lestrade. To use two end pieces to do the Lestrade, but the other three pieces you could actually use to do a Lestrade too without the edge bevel. But nonetheless, those are limited, but we have a lot of questions about people that I've got an XL Holmes, I've got an XL Watson. Can I get the extra two 24-inch, two 12-inch pieces to make the extra 24-inch? And the answer is absolutely. We are going to make those available as a separate item. However, because of the limited availability, we may make those available in our Shopify store after the fact. We'll have to look when we close down the Pledge Manager. We'll know the numbers. By that time, we'll have received the product. We'll know what we can offer as XL segments, if you will. But the only way to limit that, you can't limit it in the Pledge Manager. The only way is for us to put it on our Shopify store. But there should be enough left over for anybody that needs any. So directly email us at support@GameToppers LLC, and we'll make sure to take care of that. We wish that could be easier, that we had just oodles and oodles of product, but it's just the way it is on that item.
Tabletop Arcanum says, any idea of a double wide privacy screen? It's nice, but I would like a wider option as well.
In the future, we might be doing some additional things. You can actually put 2 dice accessory trays together, and you can take one side off, and then you could combine it to make a double. That's one way of accomplishing that. What's also really cool is our card slots that you fit your cards in. We've actually played with some things that you can put a great big screen right in the slot, like regular cardboard, because this is thick enough to handle thicker cardboard tiles. So like your game boards, stuff like that, player boards, things of that nature. So there's some ability to do that.
Willie says, I love the mats too. I have 5 and I'm going to buy at least 2 more this Kickstarter. Can't wait for 4.0, and I hope a new Halloween/horror themed mat.
I tell you what, we've had a lot of people that want to have a horror themed Arkham horror type of mat, and that's definitely in the works. And we're going to have some really new cool mats, and also work on doing some more for wargaming and things of that nature. But people love our mats, and I got to tell you, these mats, these are 3.6 millimeter thick. They're a heavy density so that they roll out flat. They're a premium stitched edge, so these aren't big squishy foam mats. These are very nice quality mats. People love our mats. Tom Vasily goes, Burky's got the best mats out there. And that was very encouraging, because I own tons of mats. I got all kinds of play mats. I honestly feel that our mats are, I made them because I wanted them. and the theme, the amount of money and effort we put into the details of the art, and how that they get cut, and all of the different things that we do so that they come to you and create this immersive environment. Man, we put a lot into that, and we love our mats. I'm very proud of them. They're all like my kids, I'm very proud of them. I love them. And we hope you guys enjoy them. We know a lot of customers have dozens of our mats. So
M. Draynor says, how about a craps table theme mat?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people. We do have our Texas Hold'em. We have a blackjack mat we did too. They didn't carry over quite as much into the gamer segment, but we've talked about that because in a different audience, that home gaming, casino gaming type of thing is really popular. And so we might be able to do something like that in the future.
Undead Viking Videos says, I love my Viking mat.
Thank you, Lance. Lance Meister, the Undead Viking, and he's a good friend of ours, and thank you so much. Goes perfect with Champions of Midgard and Reavers of Midgard, and the artist is made some incredibly complimentary art in that same vein, and it feels like you're right there. So if you're a fan of Champions of Midgard and Reavers of Midgard, go ahead and jump in on that thing, because it'll look great with our mat.
Tabletop Arcanum said, I'd agree that the best mats on the market. I went and got a custom mat for our channel, which doesn't even hold a candle to yours. Quality aside, the color and how much it pops.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Richard asks, slightly random question. What was your original reasoning behind the Holmesian Arthur Conan Doyle theme and naming?
Well, when we were really looking for the name of our company, we wanted to make a topper, but I didn't like the name Table Topper because it has all kinds of different applications and what that actually meant. And because we're in the game hobby, I thought, well, this is a game topper. And that came on, my top hat, of course, this whole thing, and the Sherlock Holmes theme and all the characters. We worked with Eric Summoner and from the Dice Tower, and Mark Streed from the Dice Tower, to create those murder mysteries, or those mysteries of the missing topper, and Jeremy Holmes from Blue Peg Pink Peg helped us write that, and we carried that theme over, giving our products actually Holmesian identities. And it's just been kind of fun to play with that whole theme, because I love theme in board games. Why not have theme in our game toppers, right?
And Lance says, theme reason, public domain.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That's awesome. Well, it's we're nearing the end of the campaign. It ends tonight at 5 p.m. So
4 hours to go.
4 hours to go. If it's last call, if you guys have some friends that are interested in a topper, they don't necessarily have to purchase a whole pledge right now. They just need to get in on the $1 or the $25 a la carte so they have access to the pledge manager, because after the fact, it's too late. People will be able to late pledge, but there's different ways of you getting in for the pledge manager and all of those options and all the stretch goals. So we want you all to take advantage of all those prices. So feel free to share I'm out on Twitter, Instagram, Game Toppers LLC Facebook page. There's lots of videos showing all of our mats. There's videos of this campaign that are out right now. Feel free to share those and share the pictures of your own product. That helps so much. And joining in and commenting on the campaign, your experience with Game Toppers, that helps so much and would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Lance says, if you don't own a Game Topper, honestly, this is the best dang thing to enhance your game night.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Seaside Bruin asks, have you looked into producing comfortable folding chairs or chairs to match your tables?
Well, stay tuned. Game Toppers isn't going anywhere, and we're going to get better and better, and we have all kinds of ideas coming up for the next go round. So,
and into the future,
he might be onto something. All right, I think we're caught up, on questions. This video will be available later at the bottom of the campaign. Well, it'll be at the top of the campaign page, but you can find it on our YouTube channel and Facebook group where you can access this later as well. We're hoping that the Pledge Manager will launch fairly quickly. A lot of pre-work has been done. Josiah's been working on it so that this can launch quickly. And when I'm at the UK Games Expo next week, next Friday, the show actually starts. That Pledge Manager will be live. So while I'm there, you'll be able to, if you're going to the UK Games Expo, please stop by our booth. It's I-960. We're not very far from the Asmodee booth, and it's actually on Game Topper Avenue. We have a sponsorship with them. And the UK Games Expo has over 400 of our game mats in the open play area. It's spectacular. You'll be able to go check out games and play games in that area and on premium game mats. And it's dual logoed with the Game Topper logo and with the UK Games Expo Dragon logo. It's really cool. They turned out awesome. But we're hoping to be there the next 3 years as part of this sponsorship and continuing to develop relationships with people in the UK and in the EU. And continue to show off our product there. And likewise, if you're going to be there, please feel free to check out. If you're already a backer, we actually could use some extra booth help that we compensate for. So please reach out to me at burky@gametoppersllc.com. If you're listening to this, that would be awesome too. So the Pledge Manager will be available, and people will be able to get in and late pledge before that shipment goes. But it's a limited window. It's probably about a month, maybe 6 weeks. We'll see how it all plays out. But normally our Pledge Manager will last longer than that because our fulfillment cycle. I mean, who does that in Kickstarter? Who delivers in 2 to 3 months? Nobody. It just doesn't happen generally, right? Because of the way we were able to do this and what we have coming, this allowed us to do that very quickly. So this fulfillment is happening this summer for everybody. And we're super excited about that because you don't have to wait that long to get in on it.
Yeah.
And I think I've answered or asked you a lot of the questions. Are there any questions that you've had repeatedly that maybe people were concerned about or confused with regarding all of these items? Or
not that I can think of. We've covered.
So if there is any questions or any concerns, we're definitely going to be monitoring the comments and the Kickstarter questions today until the campaign ends. But But also after the fact, you're always able to email us at burky@gametoppersllc.com and or support@gametoppersllc.com. Next week when I'm traveling, I'm going to be a little less available. I'll still be available, but less available. So you're probably best off directing in the near term your questions to support@gametoppersllc.com. We're not in the office over the weekends, so sometimes that might be a slightly delayed response, but generally within one business day, we're getting back to you. So if you have a question on a Saturday, you should get an answer Monday or Tuesday. So just so you are aware of that as well. And with that, man, I just can't thank you all enough for all of your help, all of your support, all of your encouraging words, man. We have had so many backers that have been so encouraging and thanking us for the product, and so glad that they were able to finally get a game table that they never thought they could get before. They didn't think they could ever afford it. And all of a sudden they got something that was really awesome that they love, and it fit the budget. And so that's been so encouraging to hear those stories. And that's part of why we do what we do. And honestly, those are the things that fuel me more than anything. You know, this is not easy. This is hard to do. It's a challenge, but that's what makes it worth it. And that's why we're here. And that's why we really try to do a good job for everybody. So keep telling your friends and neighbors. And thank you all so very much for supporting us at Game Toppers 3.5 and beyond. And with that, I think we're going to sign off.
See you next time.